To whom agrees? Greetings and salutations. The universe is just doomed. 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 Doomed.
Hi, welcome back.
It's us, Nicole.
And me, Tessa.
And we have no research assistant.
We are all alone.
For Cruel Intentions,
Ooh.
25th anniversary.
Holy shit, 25 years.
Of Cruel Intentions.
I feel like I went and saw this in the theater, too.
I think so.
I feel like I did.
Ryan Phillippe?
Come on.
What was he not hot in?
It was
gorgeous.
Well, because it was also both of them in I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they got this.
I feel like I also saw Studio 54 in the theater
yes,
because of him.
Definitely saw Studio 54 in the theater. I love
Ryan was a moment in the 90s.
Oh my God. It was for Reese too, because
where
they were
sure.
dating, and this is after this they got married.
No, I think they were. Yeah, no, they were already dating during this.
They were dating, but they weren't married yet. And they
yes,
got married
I believe that's
after.
correct. I believe that is correct.
I know. Do you think their kids watch this shit?
How weird.
Like, do you think their
especially
kids
because their
have seen
kids look like clones of them?
I know.
How gross is that?
Oh,
let's see what it would be like to make out with my sister.
Oh no! And watch my parents fuck.
Yeah,
Because they do. Guess what, guys? You ever seen this movie that's 25 years old?
So we have a little bit of tidbits from Halloween Town.
We do.
But I tried to get some clarification because I did not understand this entire message, and unfortunately he did not see it to correct it. So I'm just going to read what it says.
Okay.
Josh's dye job made his scalp, period. So I think it was supposed to say made his scalp irritated or something.
Like Joshua Jackson?
Yeah, because he had that bleach job.
Yeah.
Reese wasn't supposed to punch Ryan during the breakup scene, but the director loved it, so she kept doing it. He threw up after shooting that particular scene because he really loved her, ?
Yeah. I guess because they had been dating and it was super intense. Like they were breaking up, but they weren't really breaking up. I did make that note later on when that happened.
Okay. And the meter maid cop was Howard Stern's sidekick, Fred Norris, who went off the show for a while saying he was going to be in Cruel Intentions only to be in it for like 2 minutes.
I saw that.
I did not even clock in.
I saw that peripherally. Not that I knew who that was, but I saw that as a note.
That's who it was.
To get back to you on that thing, it was the Howard Stern show that killer called and made the
what we talked about before.
Yeah, like it was a couple episodes back that I was like, I wondered if it was. It was in fact.
Okay.
It was in fact.
So yeah, we are wrapping up Salacious September with one of the most salacious movies of the 90s.
It is based on Les Liaisons Dangereuses by Pierre Chodelos.
So that's Dangerous Liaisons?
Yeah. Which is also a remake or the first. I don't know if it was the first movie they made that was that.
The Keanu Reeves one?
Is, yeah.
You'll get to it.
Where he's struggling. He's
struggling with that accent. He's about to say dude so hard.
He wants to so fucking bad.
Madame, dude.
Madame, but dude.
But dude,
sir.
So we've got another pretty much all-star cast, especially for the 90s.
This is like the who's who of the 90s movies. We have Sarah Michelle Gellar.
It's Kathryn Merteuil.
Ryan Phillippe.
Sebastian Valmont.
Ooh.
Sounds like a vampire name.
I know. Oh, speaking of, as an aside, sorry, I know we're pausing, but there is, in fact, a Telemasca series. They just cast somebody that looks like a total fucking vampire.
Nico said when she heard our episode, she's all, I done already told you they're working on a Telemasca series. I was like, I'm sorry.
I wouldn't, doubt it. I just happened to see they cast the first person that's
because there's Telemasca and the Mayfair Witches.
I know, and there's also Mayfair Witches and Telemasca in Interview with the Vampire.
Oh, I still haven't started season 2.
Well, they only mention the Mayfair Witches. That's all it is. But it's a tie-in because it's the Eternals or the Immortals,
I think.
series or whatever. So anyway, that's completely has nothing to do with this shit. So anyway, Reese Witherspoon's also in this movie, you guys.
As Anne Hargrove.
Annette.
Why did I write Annette?
Annette.
Why did I write
Well, because I wrote a bunch of K's and S's. Sebastian. I'm going to write that out every time. Sebastian.
Got to shorten it up for the notes.
Kathryn.
Selma Blair as Cecile Caldwell.
How old is she supposed to be in this movie?
17,
How old is she
18. Starting college, right? Is that not
It's a high school.
Oh, is it a high school?
Yeah. This is high school.
She's 14.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know.
Either she's 14 or she's a Fabienne.
Because, yeah.
Or she's a 14-year-old Fabienne. Because that could be possible,
she's only ever been to girls' school, they say.
Are
so
girls from girls' school like that?
Just a whole school full of Fabiennes.
It's supposed to be a better education. I don't know why this is happening. And again, Louise Fletcher. Mm-hmm. Again, who would have thought? I know I said that about, who the fuck did I say that about? Amy Locane.
Why does she keep coming up?
But Louise Fletcher's almost even weirder, but she's in this as Helen Rosemond.
Joshua Jackson as Blaine Tuttle.
Eric Mabius as Greg the Gregster McConnell.
Sean Patrick Thomas as Ronald Clifford.
Swoozie Kurtz
as Dr. Greenbaum.
Hey, my name is Dr. Greenbaum. Christine Baranski as Bunny Caldwell.
And so she's Selma Blair's mom in this.
And also Tara Reid and Charlie O'Connell. Not Jerry O'Connell.
The
Charlie
little brother,
O'Connell.
yes.
They're in there too as Macy or Marcy and Court.
Yes.
She's the daughter of the doctor.
I also have Elena Reed Hall as the nurse just because she was on Sesame Street in 227,
That's right.
which were big
she
ones
sure was. She
as
sure
a kid.
Was. And she was funny. But anyhow, so here we go.
And we start with the sexy right off the bat.
Yes!
Suck her up and have a sound. Yeah, so we get some placebo.
To my arm. Oh.
Every you, every me.
Yes.
And Sebastian driving this convertible down the highway.
Jaguar. He likes luxury.
And now he's driven to his therapist's office where he's lying on the couch.
Cemetery. You see this cemetery? It's
Yeah.
like, I mean, I guess it's New York, so there's a lot, right? I mean, a lot of people die there. A lot of people live there. It stands to reason.
I presume so.
He goes to his therapist office, he's just openly fucking with. Well, not openly.
Dr. Swoozie. To us, openly fucking with.
Swoozie.
So yeah, she's telling him, oh, basically your parents suck, and here's an autographed copy of my book about parenting.
Great parenting. You could keep it, but she makes a note like charge
him for this.
And she won't be here next week. She's going on her book tour.
And he kind of is like flirting with her, and he says something about her legs, and all I can think about is photographing your legs.
Photograph them,
but that's the
how I
old
used
me.
to be.
Yeah.
I'm better now. I'm cured.
So yeah, she's going on her book tour, and so he wants a hug.
She could obviously not give a shit about these people. Like, who cares? They're paying.
She's got a book.
Well, and they're rich. Like, who gives a fuck? They're all damaged.
She just tells them what they want to hear for
She's like the
$250 an hour.
Swoozie Kurtz's.
The Dr. Swoozie of Phil Kurtz's. So yeah, so he gives her too long and too tight of a hug, and her daughter calls and she puts her on hold.
Yeah.
And he looks at the photo and sees Tara Reid and her in the photo and is like, oh, this is the type of girl that I should be with.
Oh, she's out of your league.
Yeah. And as he walks out the door under her breath, she's like, schmuck.
Right. So then
she answers the phone.
It's still your daughter. Your daughter's still on hold.
And she is devastated.
Oh, it's Tara Reid. She's like, will you put me on hold?
Yeah, you put me on hold. He told me he loved me and I believed him. I'm so stupid. And she's like, what's happening?
Pictures of me on the internet.
Nudie pictures.
There's a law against that now.
And they made it on like her mom's book cover. Where it's like her mom's book cover, but it's her naked.
Like terrible parenting. My daughter is a slut.
And you see this picture of Sebastian stuck to her computer monitor. So you know immediately.
Well, she tells her mom.
It started with
saying, I had great legs and he would love to photograph them. And she knows immediately.
And then it just spiraled out of control. And so, she goes like, running after him.
And she gives him like the Elaine! Like,
at the glass.
And he walks out and he meets some other debutante.
Yeah, just some random girl in the fucking mall or wherever they are.
I'm going to take you to lunch. Sure, you're cute.
I mean, you would say rich. No without knowing anything about him.
I would have gone to lunch.
You seen them cakes? We're going to see them cakes. And let me tell you what, you don't pass on them cakes.
No, you don't pass on those cakes at all. You don't pass on those lips.
That little dimple in the smile.
Ooh.
Yes, sir. And he is aging fine.
Is he? Because last I saw it looked like.
Well, I mean, he been out in the sun too much.
It looked like he had a bit.
But he's fit.
Oh, is he?
I think so. I think he's fit again.
Okay. Maybe again he just had a bit of the.
Maybe it was for a role. Who knows?
It could have been. It could have been. Maybe that's what I was looking at. I wasn't looking at present day.
Yeah, I didn't actually go. I think I saw because I looked at an article about how his and Reese's relationship is, which I guess is fine. Like they co-parent well and they say nice things about each other.
Well, that's good. They got adult kids. Like you should.
Well, they got married 20, like when I got married, like 21 and 23 or something, and had kids right away. And they both kind of said we kind of just rushed into everything. I feel like
she was pregnant on the premiere tour for this.
That might be right.
I feel like that's what I saw. Like when the movie came out, like there was all these rumors that she was pregnant while filming, and that's not true.
No, but she was pregnant during the filming of this movie.
She did not. But they weren't even married yet. It was like after filming had wrapped, they were still dating. They got married after the whole thing. She got pregnant after she got married.
But so whatever
it came out,
happened between them, which I think he cheated or something.
I feel
but
like that's true.
He apologized and is like, "Look, I was young, I was immature, like."
And I look like this. And I had cakes like this. And Laura Jean Poon, American citizen, does not have to stand for that shit. Again, Michael K., where you at? You know what this is.
Oh.
Delisted people know what Laura Jane Poon, American citizen means.
So sometime later, Sebastian's cutting off traffic to make a U-turn and park illegally in front of a cop.
The fucking AbFab. I was over here, but now I'm parking over here.
I don't think so. I think it's sometime later, but you don't know. Maybe.
I mean, I don't know, because he's like in the cop's face, the cop that thought it was going to be something.
And he just like waved him off, like basically, fine, give me a ticket.
Like, whatever, it's a parking ticket. Put a boot on it. I don't give a shit. I'll pay it.
I'll buy another Jaguar.
I'll probably.
And he's now at his stepsister's home, which is Kathryn, which is...
Well, I thought he said House Valmont.
So, his dad married her mom.
Right.
So it's their
like
parents. It's his dad and her mom's house.
There's no way that they're the same age and they're not just both like money people that got together.
Yeah.
Because they didn't grow up together. They were like products from other
It seems like a recent marriage, like in the last year or two.
Marriage, but I also feel like she's not a bunny. She's not like a young... Whatever. I feel like she had money.
Yes.
He had money, and now they got some money together.
Yes, that's what it sounds like.
Even though he calls her mother a gold digger. But I don't feel like that's true.
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like
you never
Kathryn
meet the parents.
carries herself as someone that grew up in money. Mm-hmm. So, and because they're the same age, there's no way she's got a young mom.
Yeah.
I feel like it was a power move.
Maybe.
The Merteuils and the Valmonts.
Maybe.
She
just wanted that last name. I just want to be a Valmont.
A Valmont. That sounds very vampire.
It's again Castlevania is Belmont's, I think.
Yes.
And so
Trevor
maybe that's
Belmont.
Yeah.
That sounds like a vampire name.
Yeah. So Bunny Caldwell is there meeting with Kathryn and her daughter.
Cecile, and again,
who's either 14 or a Fabienne because she's wearing a koala bear t-shirt. And she's sitting I thort it was a skirt at first, but it was not a skirt.
Just her fucking pussy is out. Ma'am, your pussy.
A khaki mini skirt with her panties just hanging out, and she's just sitting with her legs open in front of Sebastian.
Going to Manchester.
Which is where Kathryn goes. So her mom wants Kathryn to mentor her. Mm-hmm. But when Sebastian comes home, she's like,
Well, because
she's saying something as he's coming in.
I can't believe they didn't expel him for what he did to that nurse.
And he walks in right at that moment. She's recuperating well, actually.
And
what did he do to the nurse?
Know. And then he was like, "Oh, hello, Cecile. Like, how are things down under?" Like,
yes.
You could drive a boat show through there, ma'am, miss.
Yeah, how are things down there? Maturing, I hope.
Right. And
her mom like smacks her legs together. Right. Like, what the fuck?
Well, because really? Really?
And so they leave, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't know it was asshole day at the Valmont." This is where he says at the Valmont house.
Right. I mean, maybe that's just what he's saying because he's egotistical. I don't know.
And Kathryn pulls out her big ass crucifix necklace. I can't
she says that to Bunny,
about
like
she keeps God near her or whatever.
Hard, like I just turn to God. It sounds really cheesy, but I turn to God and He helps me through.
And after they leave, you find out that turning to God
is getting a bump.
A big crucifix full of cocaine hanging around your neck.
So bad.
I definitely went through
so bad.
Let's see, 1999, 19. This was the time. I was 19, and this was when I was doing that.
Like I hadn't done that yet because I was.
This was prime for me. This was the year I started doing that.
By the time I had done it, I think I was 24. 23 or 24.
I never had any cool accoutrement for it though.
Well, no, because I wanted that's what you want. See, that's how you get fucked up, because that's what you want. You want the little tutor and the little spoon
and then you got to keep it full all the time, or what's the point of having it?
And then what's the point of fucking having it? So now you're buying it, and I've never bought it.
Yeah, we didn't buy it.
It's always just been
it was just available.
I might have had 5 on it.
Oh yeah, I might have put a couple bucks on it, but I didn't go purchase it.
No, I never went and picked it up. No. I've never done that shit. Like,
but
I've done it off the back of a toilet, but I've never picked it up. That's trash.
Same fam, same. Public toilet in a public restroom.
Las Vegas, public toilet.
Bar for sure. I can't remember if it was Vegas, but bar
double
for
down.
Sure. In the double down.
In the double down.
Man.
With my ass juice. Doing rails off the back of a toilet. That's juice. Their drink. Is ass juice.
It's called.
At least it was. I'm sure it still is.
The last time I went to Vegas, I didn't drink still, so I don't know anything about drinking in Vegas.
Their signature, or at least at one point, the signature drink was ass juice. Ass juice. I couldn't tell you what's in it.
I did always want one of those long frosty boys.
I know. And you go get the big old gigantic, and you walk around like a fucking tourist, and people steal from you.
Oh, that bitch drunk as hell.
Right?
You see that? Look how low that drink is. She drank an arm's length of margarita already.
She has drank almost a yard.
It is.
It's
like drinks
she got a brain
yard.
freeze. She can't see shit. Get her wallet. Get her purse.
Oh my God, I'm getting old
Get
today.
Her drugs.
I took a fast sip of some cold water today, and the roof of my mouth froze instantly. I was like,
oh no. Brain freeze.
So bad.
Brain freeze.
But we're not talking about brain freeze.
No, we're not.
Sort of. Kind of.
Well, kind of a little
We're talking about snow in your brain, so tying it back.
It's snowing in your nostrils.
And so she mentions her mom called and said, like, they're in Bali.
Oh, well, before that, when they go to leave, they're like, let's go after Sebastian gets here. And she's like, keep your legs closed. This isn't Jamaica.
In Jamaica, everybody sits with their legs open, I guess.
Sits with their legs. It's hot. It's humid. You got to sit with your legs open in Jamaica, or else you get an infection.
So we find out the parents are gone. They're on vacation, whatever.
And he was like, so how is your what does he say? Gold digging, whatever, whore of a mother enjoying Bali. And she suspects your impotent alcoholic father is diddling the maid. He's all good.
Yeah, he's like, he says something about that when he turns it to him that he's sick of sleeping with these Manhattan debutantes. And she's like, well, look, I have a mission for you.
Nothing shocks them anymore.
Court Reynolds.
Oh, yes. Remember him? He's like, oh, yeah, the Nazi that dumped you over 4th of July weekend.
Because he passed out while she was blowing him.
Yeah.
And he dumped her?
Yeah. She's like, I went to great lengths to like bend my reputation to please this motherfucker. And then he dumps me for this Fabian.
So all she cares about is revenge. Mm-hmm. And so now he's in love with Cecile Caldwell, which is the Fabian we just met.
Dating Cecile Caldwell. So that's why she's doing all of
Why
this.
she's going to mentor her.
Right,
It's
right,
all
right.
part of her plot.
Right. Could you imagine what was little Pierre going through that he wrote this shit?
Right?
Because it's kind of the same, this intrigue and this sleeping with and making you a slut and like the reveals and the gossip and the rumors and the reputations and all this stuff is
Right? Was this
Dangerous
happening?
Liaisons.
Yeah.
It's just a different time. Like it's the same story. So what was little Pierre going through in old time Frenchies, in old French times?
Who knows?
Where this
Baguettes
was
and
happening?
berets flying.
Were they doing that shit? Little moles and wigs and powder and shit?
Maybe.
Click,
The
clack,
drama.
pissing in a pot under your dress? Funky sex.
Squatty potty, but for real.
Squatty potty, but for real with some funky ass sex.
Oh, God, the smells.
Armpits, butts, and nuts.
Brie and butts and balls and...
Like you ain't gotta, like your hanky is all nasty. Nasty hankies. For you.
Nasty hankies are coming for you.
Look out!
Oh, so yeah. So she wants him to seduce Cecile because basically she wants to take innocent little Cecile and turn her into a big old slut so
Right.
that Court Reynolds doesn't like her anymore.
Destroy her reputation and like whatever. He's like, no. That's just too easy. I don't want to do that. I have a real challenge.
Well, first she's like, she gets all sexy with her
Oh, yeah, she
stepbrother.
gets all
Did they
seducing
invent
with-
this hello stepbrother, hello stepsister genre
know,
of porn here?
I'm going to go ahead and guess that it's not like they grew up together. So
Right.
whatever. But they do make it very this dear brother, dear sister,
Mm-hmm.
that is part of this kink.
She puts her leg all up in his crotch and she's
my
like,
God.
they get very
She gave him a
close
foot job.
to kissing in the chaise longue.
Chalon.
And he's like,
Everything is French.
I can't. And she pushes him away. That's when he's like, it's too easy. Ask one of your
Right.
dumb friends. I have a reputation to uphold.
Right. And he was like, this is actually a challenge. And he pulls out a 17 magazine.
Turn to page 64.
Yes. And Why I Plan to Wait by Annette Hargrove.
So we see little Reese Witherspoon.
And she's like reading it like, is she for real?
And she is, but too bad she lives in Kansas. And he's like,
Nope. She has a boyfriend named Trevor. Trevor
her
understands.
dad is our new headmaster.
Yeah.
And she's just coincidentally staying with my aunt.
My
Yes.
aunt. That's right. When you're rich,
My
you gotta say
aunt.
aunt.
So he thinks she will be the greatest victory for his reputation. And she's
Yep.
like, you can't do it.
No chance. Well, you want to make a wager? Make a little betski?
And he mentions his journal. And she goes, could you be more queer?
Could you be more desperate to read it?
And he goes and lights a clove or something.
I know.
He's
I was like, is that a clove or is that a Nat Sherman? What do you think?
yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure.
But yeah, he trots off to write about it. He lights his little cigarette. She's like,
I got a wager for you. I got terms.
I want in on this shit. So here's the wager. If you could do this, or if you don't, if you fail, I get that little car of yours. He's like, that is a
56 Jaguar Roadster.
Rose Jaguar. And like, so what are you going to give me for that? And she's like, I'll give you something you've wanted. Since
Something
our
you've been
parents got
obsessing
married."
about since our parents got married.
Gross.
I'll fuck your brains out. And he's
He's like, nah, that's cool, whatever. And she's like, you could put it anywhere.
you got yourself a bet, baby.
He was like, ooh,
so
that
he wants to
face.
do his stepsister
And
up
I
the
want to
butt.
put it in her ass.
Or what if it's not? What if it's somewhere even
oh
weirder?
God, he wants to jam it up her pee hole.
Or he wants a foot job or something.
He's like, no, what I want's what's much weirder.
Yeah.
I want to eat you.
Right?
Or like, I don't know. I mean, she said you could put it anywhere. So what?
Put it anywhere.
I mean, that would.
He
you
comes
would
right in her
assume
eye.
He fucks her eye socket. Like,
Oh, you said anywhere, Kathryn.
you said anywhere, so I'm gonna pop your fucking eye out with my dick.
Gives her an ear infection with his. Just fills it up.
An ear infection from
Yep.
the pubic telephone.
Oh God, what do we used to say? Excuse me. No.
no.
What was the thing? There was a thing,
I
and
know,
that was
that's
part
the
of it. An
only
ear
thing that's-
infection. Mm-hmm. Oh God.
I can't hear you. I have an ear infection,
but there was
from the
more to
pubic
it.
telephone. I know.
There was a Oh, you guys fill in the blanks.
My brain
if we
is
don't
working
think of
backwards. Maybe by the time I take a break, we'll
know by then.
I don't know. Maybe we'll. Maybe we won't. I don't know. We'll see.
So they shake on it, and Sebastian goes up to his aunt's house to meet Annette.
Oh yeah, she's like happy hunting, whatever. So he goes right over there to his aunt's house.
So she's out riding horses with the aunt when they hear shooting. And once again, we got Skeet shooting.
Skeet, motherfucker. Skeet.
Fucking rich people in their skeet shooting.
That's what they do. This great Gatsby ass fucking.
And she says, "Oh, Sebastian must be home."
Right, like she loves this kid.
He lives with with his great aunt, or
no? She's just saying that shit.
He has a room there.
I feel like this is like a family house. It's gotta be. It's gotta be like a family fucking house,
Must
right?
be.
That's what I'm saying.
It's the Valmont.
I feel like he's got money and she's got money,
possibly
at least a little bit.
So he runs up and hugs her like a sweet boy, even though you see the look on his face, like, "Ugh, my aunt."
He's all fuck.
And
I missed you. Where have you been? He goes way over the top with this bullshit.
And like, "Oh, by the way, I'm also staying here for the next couple weeks. What a
too.
coincidence. Nice to
Wow.
meet you."
And he's like, come on.
He grabs her by the hand. How in love would you be, though, if fucking at 19 years old, 18 years old? No, what's she supposed to be, 17?
She's only 17.
But the way he just like...
I know.
All
it's
innocently seeming...
It's all bad, but she already
know. She already know.
She already know.
So he says he read her manifesto and he found it rather appalling.
Right?
And she's like, "Oh,
wait, most people praise me for my work." He's like, "Well, how could you say anything about something you don't know nothing about?"
And she's like, "Well, I just think you should be in love before you make love." And he's like, "Are you a lesbian?"
Right? Come on.
What?
And she's like, "Fuck your mom."
Yeah, she's like, "I wouldn't expect a man of your experience
Yeah.
to share my beliefs." And
to
he's like, "What?"
understand. He's like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "Oh, I already know.
Done. Heard.
I've heard.
I heard it
about
through the
you.
grapevine.
Heard it through the grapevine." That's what she did. She broke it down.
She turned into a California raisin. She did a spin.
Yeah.
She got animated.
She got claymation.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And she tells him a friend wrote to her about him.
And he was like, "Well, why don't you tell me who... that's not fair. You got to tell me who's saying this shit because..." No, I'm not saying nothing.
Confidential. So now Cecile is practicing
Well, first
cello.
she's like, "Well, isn't that true?" And he's like, "If you say so."
Oh, yeah. He doesn't really commit either way
No.
to if the rumors about him are true.
Of course. And now Cecile is having her cello practice.
With her adorable
Real
private
close.
tutor. Real close.
Real close.
And Kathryn comes in and notes how close.
She's watching. She's always watching. And I feel like Mei Ling back there.
Oh, she knows everything.
Oh, yes, she do.
Yeah.
Yes, she do. This is the best job she ever had. It sucks, but it's great.
She's a delisted reader.
Yes,
or
she
she
is.
would be in 10 more years.
She is a delisted confidential source
Right?
of what Kathryn Merteuil is up to.
Yep.
What her shenanigans are, and she's only a fucking
She'd be
junior.
given the society pages.
Yes,
The scoop.
you know she knows it.
Because she has that smirk.
She pretends she only knows Vietnamese, but that's not true.
Even though Kathryn like knocks shit over and blames it on
I
her,
know,
she
but
knows exactly what's going
her
on.
face,
She's just
I
like,
was like,
all right.
Mei Ling is in on this shit. I seen
So
her.
she announces her presence with knocking some shit over and then
Right.
blaming her assistant. And they meet Ronald, who is the private tutor.
I'm your private tutor.
Tooting for money?
For money.
Tooting for money?
Do
tutors toot you?
want me to toot?
But he's like, "Oh, my hour's up. I'll be back tomorrow." And Cecile like kind of leans her head on Kathryn's shoulder like, "Oh, she's so in love."
Because foolish.
So now Sebastian's hanging out with Blaine.
She tells him, he talks about he's pre-Juilliard. He was like, "Oh yeah, I'm writing a opera or something about the life of Dr. Martin Luther King." She's like,
I
"Dr.
love
King is
Dr.
my
King. That's right.
favorite."
My favorite of all the doctors.
I died so many times watching this movie.
At her?
I've watched this movie so many times. This was like a big one when I was in high school.
I watched it a lot, but I hadn't watched it in a long time.
This was like almost at the height of like skank days where like all of this stuff was very appealing to me.
But you wanted to be Kathryn?
At 17. Yes, bitch. Yes, bitch.
You wanted to be Queen Pussy?
I did not want to be Annette.
No.
I wanted to be
Kathryn. Yeah, girl, I know. Me too.
It was 1990. Picture it.
1999.
1999. I'm a senior in high school.
Yeah.
Yes. This was not my experience, but yes.
So now, so Sebastian's hanging out with his gay friend Blaine, and he's like bitching about some F slur, and he's like, no offense.
None taken.
And he's mad about this letter that Annette got telling her all about him.
I even know in Kansas City.
And Blaine's like, just coincidentally. The dude I happen to bang sometimes that's in the closet is from Kansas.
Well, first he tells me, he's like, well, that would make sense because I fingered his homecoming date. And he's like, I don't think that bothered him.
Yeah, he's like, he likes to sneak into my dorm room drunk. And as soon as he comes, he freaks out.
I'm like, oh my God.
Man has a mouth like a hoover.
Right.
Though.
I would let it go, but he suck a mean dick.
Yeah. He's like a mean dick.
A guck. He gives me that.
He gave me that Nancy
Reagan.
So, yeah, he's like, and you know what? He's not in Kansas anymore. He's back in the dorm.
He's not in Kansas
I know.
anymore,
What's with neither is Annette.
Oh.
Is she the Dorothy?
Dorothy?
You're not in Kansas anymore, Dorothy.
Say hi to your mother for me.
And your dog, Toto.
And your little dog, too.
So Sebastian asked him to arrange a get-together on his behalf. At the stroke of midnight. No pun intended.
On his, he's like, well, it's going to cost you. And of course, he got that change.
And he strokes his bong, which is the cleanest, most brand new bong that has never been smoked from.
Never been used. Unless he's like also a tweaker and cleans his shit out like immediately.
That was spotless.
That has never been used. That is a decorative bong. That is a flower vase.
It pretty much. And so Blaine calls and interrupts Greg talking about date raping some girl to all his buddies who are like cheering him on.
What is this, grandma with a birthday present? Suck it, you dumb bitch.
Wow, way to go, Greg.
We used to
overcompensating.
Say that a lot too. Like, I don't know, just for fun. Like, what is this, grandma with a birthday present when someone's being slow?
So now, Kathryn
and
Cecile are on a little picnic in the park.
Having a little.
And how do you broach brushing your new friend's hair?
Because she's a Fabian. She don't know nothing better.
Could you imagine?
Okay, so let's imagine.
I met a new friend. It's already weird that you want to have a picnic in the park with me, but all right. Cool. You bring in the food?
New York. I don't know. Is this like thing that you do?
But you pull a brush out of your picnic basket and you want to brush my hair in the park.
Let's just say Kathryn is 17. Mm-hmm. Let's say Cecile's 15 because she's going into. Yeah. So maybe that they look the same age. They probably are.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like in real life, they're probably both in their 20s at this point.
I would presume. And so she starts asking about her boyfriend, Court Reynolds.
Oh yeah, I heard that you're dating Court Reynolds. That's nice.
Oh yeah, he's always talking about some bulimic head case he dated.
Really?
Which is her. And she like yanks her hair when she says,
she must be a real loser. She's like, oh shit.
And so she tells her that Court invited her to the Hamptons for Labor Day weekend, but she's scared.
Right. Like, I don't know what to do. I've never even been to first base with a guy.
Well, haven't you practiced on one of your girlfriends?
What?
Gross.
Well, how do you think girls learn?
You guys, don't get excited. Girls don't learn that way.
It's not how girls learn.
I don't recall ever having a makeout session with a girl that was a practice for boys.
No, not like that.
I had makeout sessions with girls, but it was not anything to do with learning to make out with a boy.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
So don't get excited.
Don't get excited. This is not what happens at sleepovers.
No,
like
unfortunately.
You do not kiss your pillow.
No.
You do not squat over mirrors.
No.
And you do not make out with each other.
You guys, girls barely fart in front of each other.
I mean, sometimes
you really
do,
try
but
not
only
to.
Once the lights go out.
Yes, when nobody can identify where it came from.
But you can't.
Because you know what direction of the room. You're like, bitch, you right next to me.
There's only 4 of us there.
As long as you don't do a Tyrus. As long as you don't. spread eagle roll in front of me. Did you just fart?
I would love to talk to you, but I gotta go.
I mean, one day, if I could pull that off in front of anyone, I will just do it because, like, if I just happen to be in the right position with one Bruin where I'm like, I could do the perfect Tyrus right now.
I'm a perfect
and I could just,
now.
I don't know you, Tyrus. I don't know what show that's from even, but guess what?
You know what? If
that's
that
what
ever
you're known
happens,
for now.
you just go ahead and bury me in your backyard. Just
if
bury
I
me
do
in your
that to
backyard.
you,
I'm done. Just take me out. Viking funeral, whatever you got to do.
You're not even going to ask me if that was a fort before you
well,
die?
yes, I will. And then I will die.
You'll die.
And then you could just bury me out in your backyard in the desert.
Oh, it's going to be such hard dirt to dig.
I know. That's your punishment.
There's an under the house.
Oh, no, I don't want to be under there. I don't want to be under there like a treasured pet. I want to be in the fucking, the protected ground. Like, once you put me there, now it's a problem to get me out. I want it to be a federal crime.
I put you by the propane tank so nobody can dig you up without exploding.
Oh,
you explode.
I'll turn into beef jerky under there.
In the sun, in the heat.
Be like a raisin. Oh, I'll be a California raisin. Yes! Okay, all right, that's fine.
We got to put tennis shoes on you and nothing else. A bow tie. So that when you turn into a California
bush out in the sun.
Oh. So we were getting to the really sexy part where they kiss.
And then we ruined it.
And we ruined it for you. I'm so sorry. So she's like, how do you think girls learn? She's like, close your eyes and wet your lips.
And then
they kind of do just a light kiss.
Right. And she's like, that was nothing. It was fine.
Okay, well now I'm going to stick my tongue in your mouth.
And then I want you to massage my tongue with your tongue.
And that's first base.
And that's what first base is.
Okay, eyes closed.
All right.
So now they kiss and we get a close-up.
Oh my God. And Cecile knows what she's doing.
This ain't her first rodeo.
No, it's not.
And they got you got that saliva.
Oh my God!
String
I guess that
and
was
all.
an accident. Like that wasn't supposed to happen.
But it was perfect.
They weren't supposed to have the spittle. But this is why it won Best Kiss at the MTV Movie Awards that year.
String.
Because it was that little.
Because it wasn't so much that it was like they're drooling, but it was like.
It grosses me out. There's like a couple of movies I feel like where that's the cover is like tongues and like spit. Like on Tubi and shit.
Okay.
And I'll see that and I'll like scroll through and I'm like, oh, I don't.
It's out of context for sure. It's not hot. Just like an image of that.
I don't really like that. I don't even really. Everything
it's not my favorite thing, but like in this context where it's just
short,
where it was quick,
really
it's like
short.
It's whatever.
It's fine for me because it's candid in the as a movie scene,
right?
But as whack off material, it's I don't like the spit.
So Kathryn backs off and Cecile's still there, eyes closed, like
that was cool.
Like waiting for more makeout session. She's like, well, now you should practice on Ronald.
Right. Like seems like you like, she's like, why would you say that?
Well, he sends me letters, but I haven't responded to any of them.
I keep them in my old dollhouse in my room.
How old is it? A year ago?
Right.
And Kathryn tells her, make copies of the letters.
Right.
And bring them to me.
Bring them to me so that, because if there's one thing I know, it's love letters.
Why does she need to make copies? Just bring me the letters.
Just bring me the letters. Yeah. Well, because she wants them to be there so she can tell her mom that they're there.
Mm-hmm. So they arrange a get together at Kathryn's house, and Cecile's like, well, now we're best friends. Let's have a sleepover.
She's like, you want to have a sleepover? Kathryn's face, like, ugh. I wonder if she did. Or if she kept finding a reason to put it off. I wonder if she had a sleepover with her.
Well, before we find out if we find out, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Take 5. You sure do listen to a lot of podcasts. I bet you even have a few ideas for a podcast yourself. In fact, you just know someone will want to listen to a show about how every episode of Murder, She Wrote has a thematically corresponding episode of The Love Boat. But how do you go about starting your new podcast, Murder, She Boat? Sequoia is the answer. Sequoia Productions is a content creation consultant specializing in podcasts. We have 4 years experience in podcast creation and production, and we can help you every step of the way to getting your show going and growing. From idea to formatting, to recording and editing, etc. Sequoia can even help you think of a catchy, memorable name. Murder She Wrote. We can guide you through the entire process of getting your idea out into the ears and eyes of others. Web design, custom logos, and art. How about a bespoke theme song? All created by actual certified human beings. No AI involved. As natural as the mighty sequoias themselves. Your idea is a seed. Let Sequoia help it grow. Sequoia.com. That's SEQUOIDEA.com.
We are back.
We are back, and I went into the bathroom and looked up a little tittle-bittle, and did you know that Annette was supposed to be Katie Holmes?
Oh, I could see that.
But she didn't really have the chaps. So I guess the director, because Ryan Phillippe had already been cast, so they were like, what about your girlfriend?
Oh.
So that's how she got this
Get her
role.
in here.
Get her in
here. Oh, yeah,
here.
I did see something about that they had to rewrite the part a little bit because Reese Witherspoon was like,
I'm not getting my titties out?
maybe, but it didn't say that specifically, but just basically that it didn't really fit her image, whatever the original full character line was, and she wanted it to, because she was kind of America's sweetheart, I think, at this time.
What had she done up until...
Legally Blonde was after?
I feel like it. I feel
Freeway.
like that was...
She wouldn't be America's sweetheart from
Right?
Freeway.
I was going to say, because that was what I
or
would have
maybe it
known
was
her
too
from.
innocent and she was trying to get it to go a little
maybe
bit darker.
to be like rougher because she had already done Freeway. That's right,
Maybe,
because
that
Freeway
was like
was before.
96, right? Mm-hmm. If you guys haven't
she'd already
seen
done that.
Freeway or
we
heard
have
our
an episode about
go
Freeway.
check it out.
You should watch that movie. It's
It
good.
is worth a
And watch
watch.
watch the sequel too. Why the fuck not with Tara?
I still have not seen
I
it
almost
with
said
Natasha
Tara Reid.
Lyonne, right?
Natasha
I
Lyonne.
need to see that shit.
Yeah.
So anyway, Annette is reading one of these letters about Sebastian.
Yes, she's reading this letter that she's already gotten that's told her the scoop.
Which clearly by the penmanship was not written by Greg.
No, it couldn't possibly be.
This cursive.
With like letterhead.
Greg wrote this.
Personalized. I don't know if you could see it at this point, like who it is, or if there's any kind of clue.
I accidentally paused right then and took a picture, and so I'll zoom in and see. But I don't remember there being letterhead. But I just noticed
see if
that
you
the
can. I mean, like it
penmanship
had a thing, but I don't know if that's
watermark.
something that's in there that's like a little clue ski as to who
Maybe.
it actually is. Aside from, it doesn't look like.
Well, she knows who it is. I think.
Well,
It's
she knows
just-
who it
yeah.
is, but like for us, because she's not
just us.
disclosed who has written these letters,
Ooh,
girl. I
who
am
wrote it?
smart.
You're the
Most smartest.
So it's all about, the letter's all about how Sebastian is as treacherous as he is attractive, and every girl he's been with has regretted it. And she starts hearing this opera music getting louder and louder.
It's like Ode to Joy or some shit. Or something else.
And she goes to find Sebastian in the indoor pool area,
Right.
sitting in an antique wheelchair.
Oh, it's the shit that comes after you in the Changeling.
My father.
My medal.
Why
That's
do they
where
have
were-
that wheelchair?
I don't know. Because it's an
His
old,
great uncle
I
used
feel
to
like
sit in that
it's-
wheelchair.
I feel like this whole structure, the pool, the everything is very old.
Great Gatsby.
money. Yeah, Great Gatsby shit.
Yeah.
This is some old fucking money. He comes from generations of like, what do you call them? Carpetbaggers, industrialists, whatever. Top hat wearing fucking children
For
in
sure.
the factories, fucking
sure,
getting
for sure.
rich.
And then what starts playing?
Love me, say that you love me.
We haven't heard Love Fool since Romeo and Juliet.
I know. Actually, I haven't heard Love Fool since like a couple days ago that it came up in like a day list for me.
Nice.
it do.
What was the name of that day list?
Oh God,
You get
I
the
don't
best
know.
names.
I know.
You get the divorced dad.
I
day
really
list.
enjoyed the divorced dad one, and I didn't even listen to it because the first thing that came up was Limp Bizkit, and I was like, fair, next.
Divorced dad. Fair.
I'm gonna go back to the fucking Club Metro mix. Some of them are really funny. I don't know what they are now, but some of them are stupid. I wonder where it is right now.
Oh, go check. Oh, let's go.
It's gonna go.
check
Let's
our
just
day
look.
list.
Let's
Where's
just
my-
look. Let's just look.
Where's my phone? Oh, it's in my
I don't
pocket.
know. I don't know. All right, day list. What does this say? Is Love Fool on here? Oldie Soft Rock Thursday night. What the fuck, Faith? What's love got to do with it? Let's Dance, Kiss, Freedom 90, Brass in Pocket. Okay.
Mine is Bounce Housewarming Night.
Oh, shit.
It knows I'm buying a house.
Wow.
Okay, why is the second track Fuck the Pain Away by Peaches?
Because that's what you're going to do once you get in that house.
It's got Santa Gold, Peaches, TNGHT, Sleigh Bells, MIA.
Okay. I swear they just make this shit
Chemical
up.
Brothers.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay. All right. That's fine. We're going to have to do the kid and play in your living room once you get in there.
Oh, yeah.
Because we'll be housing the
we want
party.
to get rid of this couch, so at first
There'll be plenty of space to do it. We're going to need the space because we'll be flailing.
We still got to do our in living color.
We'll do it out in the desert.
We're going to do our Fly Girl dance.
Oh,
too.
shit. We'll have room.
Mm-hmm.
Get our
so much room for
bike
activities.
pants on. Got to stretch, kick. I'm
stretch.
43.
I'm 40. I'll be 45 right after this, or 2 weeks after this comes out.
Oh, that's right. Well, we'll wait until then.
So Sebastian has brought her a gift.
Oh, yes. A little backpack with like a plaque on
engraved,
it.
Her
name
engraved.
in the school.
Oh, it's dumb. She's like, no, I love
it.
Oh, well, you're going to join me for a swim? So she
Well-
goes to change and she like spritzes a little perfume
She's all,
on
hold
herself.
on. Hold on. Let me make myself enticing.
And Kathryn calls like, did you fuck her yet?
Working on it. Something.
And he's working on it because when she comes back,
Right? She's all loser. Blow me.
yeah. But when Annette gets back, Sebastian
Oh,
is just
fuck.
cakes out. Steamed up.
Hello, steamed hams.
Glistening them
Steamed
steamed
How long did he stand there?
waiting to see,
How long did he stand there like that guy in the Blair Witch Project
trying to get a half chub like
In the
Kevin
corner-
Bacon in Wild Things just to
when he
make sure
turns
if
around?
turns
Because you
around.
know he did. You know he did because her eyes drop. They don't show it, but her eyes drop.
I know, I can't believe you don't get to see the
meat.
no meats, just cakes.
Do you ever get to see the meat? I don't think you ever
No,
do.
not in this.
Not in
No
this, but
titties
like
either.
ever.
Oh, Ryan's meat?
Oh yeah, there's no titties.
No titties, just some cakes.
Huh.
The girls were youngish.
It was
I don't
just
know.
salacious. It wasn't in your face. It was the suggestion.
There was the stepsister, stepbrother suggestion, the girl on girl suggestion,
Right. The diminished capacity suggestion, if you're into that kind of thing, with Cecile.
if you want some blueberry pancakes.
And a slice of cheese.
So she gets all embarrassed. So he turns around and is like, could you turn around, please, while I get
well,
dressed?
she's like, oh, I'm sorry.
Get dressed.
You've been standing there for like 40 minutes.
Well, like he wasn't in the pool when she came down. He was in the wheelchair. So when she
Right.
went to get ready for the pool, he went for a nude steam.
Was he changed already?
Yeah, that didn't make any sense.
No,
but
it
I
did.
don't care
Well,
'cause
it
I got to
makes
see his
perfect
booty.
sense to me. It's fine.
I got to see his booty, and that's all that matters.
It's fine.
So she shields her eyes. He gets in the pool, and I never saw him put no shorts on.
Neither did I.
I'm pretty sure you saw a little white booty under the water.
Little skinny, dipping. She's almost got the exact same bathing suit on as Denise Richards.
Yeah, very
but
similar.
it's not
One
cut out in
piece,
the nipples and the crotch.
It doesn't have the liner cut out
Yeah, it doesn't have the liner cut out of hers.
because she's demure.
She's demure. She gets out though and she like waggles her little butt at him. Mm-hmm. But yeah,
She's
they
like,
have this whole conversation.
It amazes me someone as charming as you can be so manipulative. Why would that amaze you? That's exactly the quality you
just-
need to be manipulative.
I know.
Is to be charming.
Hello.
They go hand in hand, ma'am.
Exactly.
And she tells him about the letter, and he's like, look, I want to know who's bad-mouthing me. And she's like, no, not a chance. And he admits he's
And
done
she
some
quotes
things.
the fucking
Yeah.
letter. Come on, Annette. Annette, what the fuck? Quoting this letter, almost as treacherous as blah, 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 blah. This is French shit, not Shakespeare shit. Relax.
He's like, look, yeah, I've done things I'm not proud of, but you're everything I wanted in a girlfriend.
Oh, listing my qualities isn't going to get you anywhere with me.
And she's like, and did you forget about Trevor?
I have a boyfriend.
He's backpacking through Europe
Right
and I
now.
miss him greatly.
Uh-huh.
And you're not my
it's funny
type.
that you didn't mention him until just now, though.
Mm-hmm. That was the first we heard of Trevor.
I mean, except for her article.
Right.
She ain't brought up Trevor not a once.
Not a once.
Not a once.
So she gets out the pool and leaves like,
right. I'm out of here. The
called
best
out.
you can hope for is my friendship. And you're pushing it at that. Ooh. So, bye. Let me get out and wag my butt crack at you.
Shoes. Yep.
Goody two, goody two, goody two shoes.
She is. So to cut to the Kansas license plate, Greg #1.
Oh, yes. Pulled up at, it's blackmail time.
And Sebastian strips his bumper sticker off and heads into Blaine's house.
Where is this his house?
It seems like, yeah, Blaine's another kid left home alone. Because he said meet at their house at midnight.
Family house, I guess.
And he busts in the room and takes a photo of them in their undies.
Oh, no. Where's my underwear?
Oh, please don't tell anyone. I'll do anything. And he's like, look, you've been bad-mouthing me to Annette. And he's like,
I don't even know her. I don't know her.
I never said a word to her. And Blaine's like, actually, he's probably telling the truth.
Because
he barely
can't
write
even
a grocery list.
Right.
He just wanted a reason for Sebastian to walk in on them fucking.
Sebastian's face was like, oh, you. Okay,
he knew.
Let me just for a second.
You wanted to come in and take a photograph of you with your on again, off again? Okay.
He's like, you're trash just like me. You like to do this shit and stir up some drama just like me. So game recognizes game.
Yes.
Okay. And just for a second, then he flashes back to mad face.
Yeah, and he's like, look, I believe you and your secret is safe, but actually,
you need
do something
to
for me.
Exactly.
So cut to Greg telling Annette all these nice things about Sebastian.
Oh my God. And really? Is she buying this?
I don't think so. He's like, his bad rep is mostly bullshit. And he's like, who did you even hear all this from?
I know. And she's like, no, I can't say. I'm sworn to secrecy. And he's like, come on.
Who am I? Who am I
How
gonna
long
tell?
have we known each other? Do I look like a gossip queen to
Who would
you?
you tell? You're over here touting the greatness of Sebastian. Who do you think you would tell?
I know. Right?
She a little bit Fabienne herself.
Well, a little bit. I think everybody's like needlessly naive.
I guess. But they are also supposed to be teenagers.
Well, that's
so we
true.
forget
But
that.
already Sebastian and Kathryn are working at a
adult level
Klaus and Claudia level
of cruel intentions.
If he hadn't have died, that's what would have happened. They would have picked up some chipmunks and sent them on a race around the world.
To a jewel
pitting them
thief
against
race.
each other because they're very, very wealthy and very, very bored.
Yeah, and then that's after they already banged a bunch of times and got tired of each
because
other.
that's what they're doing in there. Now they're tired. Now they just manipulate chipmunks. That's what happens.
That's where they're headed.
That is.
So cut to Sebastian on the phone with Greg, who's telling him it was Bunny Caldwell.
Holy fucking shit. Bunny Caldwell.
Wow. And like, how did she know to warn her even in advance of her moving into town about? I mean, I know she knows about Sebastian, but like.
You know how rich people do. I would imagine that if she knew about those things, that she would know better that this whole, like, he would go after her as fresh meat. So she's like, no. Like, these are the boys that are okay. These are the boys that are not okay.
Talk about your reputation preceding you.
I know.
From another state.
Reputations.
Wow.
Reputation. Could you imagine? I mean, I had a reputation, but it wasn't like, it didn't mean anything to me.
Yeah, not like this.
My reputation was a lie. For the most part.
Mine was pretty true.
There was elements of truth in there, but like there was things that was said about me that were wild. So I can't say that it was true.
No, I didn't really have anything super wild said about me that wasn't based on some sort of reality anyway.
I mean, if we're talking about like murderous things.
Oh no, no one ever accused me of being
murderous. Like those were the things.
It was
like,
all sex things.
Well, it was sex things, but also like while I'm killing you or biting off your fucking dick was
no,
like
I never.
thing.
No,
that
I
was
didn't
one
have
of the
that
rumors that I
reputation.
bit off somebody's dick, and I'm like, I have fifth period with him. Like how he goes to school
Wouldn't I be
with
in
us.
jail? Like, wouldn't he be in the hospital?
Wouldn't he be in the hospital if I bit off his dick? Okay, fine, whatever.
Yeah, no,
if that's
never.
what gets you through the fucking day, you can go ahead and say I bit off someone's dick during lunch period. Okay, sure. Nobody, like, no ambulance came, but okay, that's what happened.
Wow.
Sure.
Yeah, no, never got that one. Thank goodness.
I mean, like, some of them were kind of deserved or had a basis in truth, but some of them were wild.
For sure. Like that one.
Like that one.
So now we're watching a videotape of Cecile doing a split handstand crotch forward to Ronald.
Bugged the house.
Yeah.
Did she do this or is this?
Yeah,
just
I
like,
don't know.
Because it's like she's got like a nanny cam. It's like low level in there.
Is that part of why she knocked into the shelf? Did she plant something in that base or have Mei Ling or whatever her name is?
I don't know.
Something...
Who knows what the fuck she's doing in there? Because she's bored. Who put that camera in there? Because you would think if it was a security measure, it'd be up here, so you could see the whole room.
The whole room.
But that was just
where the frolicking is going to take place.
Yeah, she ordered that from what counted for online.
Yeah, I don't know. She went to
she
the
got
spy
it
store.
from she got it from some she got it from James Bond proper.
Not FAO Schwartz. What am I thinking of? Fucking
Bloomingdale's.
No, the one that has all the technology.
Oh, Sharper Image.
Sharper Image. She got a Sharper Image.
She went to go
kit.
sit down in the chair for a while and started looking around like, oh, like she would sit
in a
the
massage
public
chair at a Sharper Image. No,
she just
would
have
not.
bought one.
She would.
And had it sent to her mansion.
So Sebastian's come into the room and Cecile is on the camera telling Ronald, peace out. And she like fist bumps her chest.
Oh
and
my
does a
God.
peace.
She's like, wow, she's somehow. Ronald's face when she does that split is like, oh my God.
What am I supposed to do with that?
I feel like there might be a crime committed here.
Yeah, I don't know how old
Ronald,
Ronald's
Cecile,
supposed to be,
I don't
but
know
he
how
said
old he
college,
is.
I thought.
Pre-Juilliard. So early college.
17, 18?
19.
19 maybe? And
I'd
she's,
say
we don't know,
19.
15 maybe? So in 1999, that
It's
was
not
normal,
a crime necessarily, but it should be because also diminished capacity.
She's slow.
She doesn't know what she's doing.
So Sebastian tells Kathryn who sent the letter to Annette, and he's like, and now I'm going to destroy her.
Right, now I'm going to get that bitch.
And Kathryn's going to rat out Cecile to her mom and ruin her relationship to Ronald.
Mm-hmm. He's like, wait, do you know?
And Sebastian is lying on this. I don't know about this sex chaise longue.
Oh my God.
But every time they get close to this piece of furniture, the salaciousness
I
is
know.
on.
She like hops up
She
there,
like lays down
and
on top of him.
She is moving that shoulder like she is giving him a handy.
She exactly is.
I know what
got to be rubbing on his dick.
Our
over
motion,
the pants, maybe, but she is groping up on that dick,
getting up on there. His face would suggest
for show
that is what's happening on the salon.
Because she's like, oh, I hate it when things don't go my way.
It makes
jerk,
me
jerk, 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 jerk.
so
horny. And he's like, I hate it too.
I know. Really.
And she like kisses his fingers on her shoulder. Did you get your girl? And he's like, any day now. And now she's like gyrating on his dick.
I know.
Let me know when you do. And until then, and she licks his face. Down boy to his dick.
Oh,
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Sarah Michelle Freddie Prinze Jr.
Oh, you better recreate this with Freddie Prinze Jr. sometimes.
Girl,
pretend you're
you
my
think they
stepbrother. Get on the chaise longue.
You think they do? They're happy.
They seem to be keeping it together after all these years.
And they're like, their skin looks good. They look fresh, the both of them. Neither one of them look miserable. I believe it.
I'm really hoping good things for them.
I believe it. I want them to
up.
make it. Won't those crazy kids make it? I hope so.
I sure hope so.
I hope so.
So that night, Sebastian calls Annette up on the phone. And are they not in the same motherfucking house?
Yes.
Did he call her in another room?
Yes.
Did I leave my glasses there?
Oh, no.
She's wearing.
No. He's gone back to House Valmont.
Oh, okay. He's at Valmont
at
now.
his alt.
And did I leave my glasses there? The last time, as far as we know, you saw her was in the pool and you were not wearing your glasses.
He's saying some shit to say some shit to pretend like
I just called because I missed talking to you. From last night,
girl.
The fact that she falls for this is all down to them lips and them cheeks.
I know. And them cakes because she saw them.
He knew to show her right off the bat.
He knows what
I know it's going to
he's
turn
working
the tide.
with.
He
I
sure
know
does.
what I'm working with. I play to my strengths.
And she's like, what are you doing tomorrow? And he's like, well, I'm going out
Hanging
with
out
you.
with you.
And all we see of that is like a quick clip of them walking around together, and then cut to Kathryn in the clothing store with Bunny Caldwell.
She calls up Bunny Caldwell. Like I really
struggled
struggled if I should tell you, but like it's about Cecile. It could really damage her reputation. She's like, what is it? Drugs? It's worse.
She's dating her.
I think there's something going
cello
on
tutor
between her and her music teacher, Ronald.
And so she shows her tells her about the love letters.
Right. She's like, he sends her love letters. They're in her
dollhouse
or whatever. She's like, but don't tell her I told you.
So she says the maid. So she comes
Right.
home all mad about the letters saying that
during
Consuelo
practice.
or whatever. Yeah. Found the letters.
Practice. Who do you think you fucking are coming in here? Me and my husband gave money to Colin Powell.
He's like, oh, this is because I'm black. And she's like, we can't be racist. We donated to Colin
Well, he was
Powell.
like, I would hope that in this day and age. She's like, no, it's because you're 26 and my daughter is
Right.
fucking 15.
So he goes down the hall. The black man is gone. Praise Jesus. The black man is gone. And when the elevator opens, Kathryn and Sebastian just happen to be out there.
Weird, with a letter.
A letter from Cecile.
Huh.
And we think you should tell her that you love her.
Right.
We'll make
like,
sure she gets your
We'll make
letter.
sure. She's like, why are you helping me?
And yeah, he's suspicious, rightly so.
Well,
But Kathryn acts like, oh, I
Not
just want to
enough.
make Cecile happy.
we want her to be happy. Don't you want her to be happy?
So they take him back to their place.
Well, she's like, we can arrange a meeting.
And so she sends him like in her room to go write the letter.
Oh, no. He wants to go to her. He's like, can I get some privacy?
yeah,
To write this
this
Well,
letter.
because he was like, I can't call her and I don't even know her email. And Sebastian's like, emails for nerds and pedophiles.
we don't
Like,
need that.
write
Just
her
write the
another letter.
So then as he goes to write the letter, and Sebastian says to Kathryn, we've done some fucked up shit, but we're like destroying an innocent girl because you're
Right.
jealous
This
over
is where
Court
he's
Reynolds.
like, are you sure? Because she's like, I'm going to call Cecile or no, she's going to call Cecile.
Yeah, and this is where she talks about Court Reynolds going down is like all she cares about.
Right.
And God forbid I exude confidence and enjoy
Yeah.
sex. Are you in or are you
If
out?
a guy would do this shit,
Right.
it would be fine. But because I do it, she's like, do you know how fucked up it is that I have to be all Mary Sunshine just to be a fucking lady? I am the Marsha fucking Brady of the Upper East Side, and sometimes I want to kill myself.
I bet.
Probably.
So she calls Cecile, who's sobbing, and she puts Sebastian
Stop crying.
on.
Cecile, stop crying.
I've got a letter from Ronald,
Oh,
but I can't bring it to you.
right. Because your mom hates me. So
Cut to Cecile putting this creepy life-size doll in
that
her bed
says Cecile
on
it.
its T-shirt.
It's made for her to break out.
and she
Do you
puts
really
on her...
think that anybody's checking on her?
No, not
No
very
one's
often.
checking on her.
She puts on her Red Riding hoodie.
That was a choice, legitimately, because of that.
Yeah. And she has she goes to Sebastian's and he has her right back to Ronald, but he gets her drunk.
On Long Island
This
Icy.
doesn't taste like iced tea.
It's from Long Island. She didn't taste it because a Long Island iced tea
is nothing
like
there's
yeah,
no
it
tea
tastes
in it.
funny, but like it tastes funny like alcohol.
Yeah.
Cecile.
Yes. But she's never had alcohol.
Well, I guess. Well, she's also
And Sebastian starts taking photos of her lying on his bed like, you could be a model.
too bad you're not sexy.
I can be sexy.
She's sexy like I'm sexy.
All right, show me sexy. And she starts tossing herself around like she's having a temper tantrum. And he
He's
unzips
like, "Oh, yeah.
her hoodie and he's like, no,
That's sexy.
that's sexy. And you know what? If you lost all your clothes, it would be more sexy.
She's like, I think I gotta go.
And
I'll just call your mom. No!
I'll do anything if you don't call my mom.
Anything?
I just want to give you a kiss.
I don't
so she
want to kiss
puckers
you
up.
here.
I want to kiss you down
Here.
there.
What?
And he's like, a promise is a promise, Cecile.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
And she has picnic blanket underwear on.
She sure do.
And he has himself a snack. He got himself a picnic.
Hey, boo boo.
And at first she's like, oh, that tickles. And then she's like, her eyes roll back. She's like, what?
Well, sometimes. Well, I mean, you could imagine he knows what he's doing.
He's apparently been around the block.
I mean, I know it probably doesn't take much if you've never.
Yeah.
But.
So her mom comes to wake her up in the morning and finds the doll. And here she comes in, rolling in, hair all disheveled.
I know, looking like she just came.
She's like, go get ready. We've got to meet, I don't know, some lady about the school.
Same fucking aunt. She's got to go to the. It was a luncheon
that's
at
right,
the fucking
tea
aunt's.
time.
They go, yeah, we got a
So they got
time
tea
over there.
time at Sebastian's aunt's house. And Cecile is there. Annette is there.
Mm-hmm. And Sebastian is there.
And he's like making faces and gestures at
like,
Cecile, like, like jerking off and all
she's
this
like,
stuff. She
spits
spits her food out.
Lunch.
And he's like, that was rude.
Right. She's like, she's very strange.
So Mrs. Collins calls and says they're short of volunteers at the retirement home. But couldn't Annette and Sebastian fill in for her?
But Mrs. Roseman has theater tickets.
Oh, no.
Why don't you two... No.
Absolutely
no, thank
not,
you.
Aunt Helen.
Absolutely fucking not. I'm not going to the fucking old folks' home.
And that's where the nurse is. What's her name? Olivia from Sesame Street and Rose from 227.
Yes.
And she takes them to assist two different patients.
Oh, I've got someone special for you, honey.
And he lies to this poor old woman. He sits there doing the crossword.
He was like, yeah, you told me that right after we played backgammon. We played 3 times. You won 3 times.
And she's just like,
I did?
Oh, amazing.
I used to tell this shit to my mom sometimes when she would feel bad about seeing her dad. And I'd be like, just tell me you came yesterday.
Oh, God. You're like, hey, I know from Cruel Intentions that it will work.
Just tell him you came yesterday. It's fine.
So Annette sees all this. That old lady tells Annette and the nurse that,
they come in to check on.
Blah, blah, blah.
I played backgammon. I won 3 times. And then when they're driving back, he's like, Mrs. Sugarman was cool.
And I had a great time. And she's like,
no, you didn't.
I'm not buying that.
Nobody did. It smells in there.
He's like, fine, I hate doing charity. She's like, you need to lighten up. And this is adorable. She starts making her little demon faces at him, which totally reminds me of Kim, who's not here tonight.
Oh, I know.
But those little faces are totally
She's making Kim faces.
But yeah, she's doing little demon horns and like
cute
sticking her tongue
faces.
out. And he can't help it but laugh.
Oh, but yeah, see, now it's not so hard just to, you take yourself to take a salt off. I turned into Serge.
And they hold hands while he drives.
He's going to have to shift, right? Is this
that's
a shifting?
That's for sure a manual transmission.
I would imagine a 1956 Jaguar.
Gotta be. I don't think they had automatic then.
Because she was doing that at the end too. Oh, sorry, have you seen it? But like, she had her hand on the auga.
Before we get there, I think we might do a double breaker.
Hey, we're wrapping up the month. It's salacious.
We're here untethered because we have no research assistant.
We have been drinking. We're wild.
You just never know.
You never know what'll happen.
We'll be right back. Yeah, we're back.
We're back, and Cecile's writing her little letter hanging out on the floor, and Kathryn goes to see her.
And Cecile's like, something awful happened last night. It involves your brother.
He took advantage of me.
And she's like, well, why didn't you do something?
She's like, well, I mean, it was kind of weird. She's like, well, so he forced himself on you. She's like, no.
He made you give him a blowjob.
Ew, no.
And she whispers in her ear, and Kathryn smiles.
Oh, he went down on you.
Is that what you call it?
If that's what you call it.
Well, did you like it?
Well, at first
it was weird.
But then
it was like an explosion.
And then there was like an explosion.
She's like, you had an orgasm.
And you're becoming a woman. Congratulations.
So Cecile jumps on her all excited, and she throws her to the floor. Just like.
And she's like, well, why don't you think of Sebastian as like a practice
Yeah, he's your tutor. Let him instruct you. And she's like, but I don't love him. I love Ronald.
Well, you want Ronald to be happy, right?
So you need to sleep with as many people as possible.
Wouldn't that make me a slut?
Everyone does it. They just don't talk about it.
Talk about it.
Like a secret society?
Secret society.
Sure, idiot.
Yeah.
She just leaves.
She's a lot.
Now,
a lot.
cut to Cecile in the afterglow in Sebastian's bed eating
God.
maraschino cherries
Off a
off a silver tray.
That's how you do
You
it.
tell me he gonna go down on me. I get to see them cakes, and he gonna serve me a plate of maraschino cherries.
You need to eat these maraschino cherries because then it makes that pussy taste like maraschino cherries.
And he's over there writing in his journal next to
Right.
her in bed.
And then she's like, come on. And I'm like, whatever. Like, you want a blowjob?
He just and again
I know,
she gets
again.
thrown to the floor casually. This is quiet time.
And this is what I like to call quiet time. It's where we reflect
On the things we've
just done.
And she's like, "What's wrong?" And he's like, "It's not about you."
Right. Like, you're an idiot.
She's like, "Oh, it's about Annette. That's fine. I don't love you either." Like, okay. So he goes to take a shower, and no, he doesn't want company or a
No.
blowjob. And she's
No.
like, "Prude.
Yeah. Come on.
You've had sex with one dude. Relax.
Right?
Relax."
She's had an entire sexual awakening.
So now Sebastian is creepily watching Annette through binoculars as she reads under a tree.
And she's crying. And Kathryn comes in like, oh, is that her?
Little baby upset by the big bad book.
She's like, shut it.
What's up your ass?
Right?
She's getting to you, isn't she? If you must know, yes. So he admits he's infatuated with her because
Right.
she made him laugh.
Come on. Really? You made you laugh?
And she's like, "You're losing the bet." She starts licking her lower lip. Oh.
Can I take my car out for a spin?
The only thing you'll be writing is me.
Oh! Shit.
Okay.
Shit.
Okay.
Okay. When he picks her up, she's like, oh.
So he goes to join Annette under her tree and gives her some sweet little cheek kisses. Then he goes for the mouth,
He
and she's
speaks
like,
French, and she's like, oh, hold on. He tries to lay her down.
she's like, "I thought we were just going to be friends." He's like, "I can't handle it."
Right. I can't. Like, I want to be more than friends.
"Don't you have feelings for me?" And she's like, "Well, yeah, but I don't trust myself when I'm with you, girl."
If you really want to know, I know. I don't either.
I don't trust myself with him either.
No, ma'am.
So she walks off.
Right. He's like, I can't with your games anymore.
So that night at her bedroom door, there's a knock.
Oh, shit.
It's Sebastian. I came to say goodbye.
I'm leaving, and maybe I'm going to go to the south of France, get my head together.
I don't get you. Hot 1 minute, cold the next. You make me feel inadequate.
You're such a hypocrite. You say you're waiting for love when it's right here in front of you.
You've known each other a week, fool.
Girl, it's teenage hormones. You know how that shit works.
If you're gonna turn your back on this, we're fucked.
Right? Like you have to think about it for the rest of your life. That time you turned your
Back on love. Have a nice life.
She's like, wait.
Hold on.
Let me get over here and
Lock the
door and no titties for Laura Jane Poon, American
No.
citizen.
She undoes his pants and sits on the bed. She unbuttons her top, but you only see just chest
Just
in between
chest
the
a little bit.
titties.
Yeah, it's just the hint.
And then he's like, "I'm sorry. I can't." And she's like, "What the fuck?" She starts crying. She's like, "What the hell?"
I'm all wound up and whatever, and you're just gonna bail? Like, I'm gonna fucking flick the beans so hard tonight.
For real. I'm about to
Whoa.
slide off this bed, mister. And you're going to turn around and tell me no?
You started this.
And he sees himself in the mirror. He's all, get it together,
you pussy.
So now, the next morning, Annette is headed out. She's headed out to the limo. She's leaving.
Yeah.
And
She's going
Sebastian's
home, or
asleep
not
with
home,
his
but, like, whatever.
journal in his lap.
And Kathryn pops in there trying to grab it, and he wakes up and takes it from her, and she's like,
How'd it go last night?
well, not that good.
And so, but no, she didn't shoot me down. I don't know
No.
what went wrong. I just didn't feel right about
We
it.
were there. She was ready to do it, and I just couldn't do it. I didn't feel right about it. And she's like, oh.
You're a chump. And this is where he
Such
picks
a
her
chump.
up and puts her down on
Ooh.
the bed.
Bitch.
Pick me up.
Oh my
and put
God.
me
Right
on the
by
bed.
them Naugas and fucking
Ugh.
yes.
And she's like, oh, by the way, Annette left 30 minutes ago.
Right, because he's like, where is she? She's like, oh, if you're looking for her, she's gone.
She told her
left
aunt
30 minutes ago.
she was going to stay with some friends. You blew it, Sebastian.
She'll never go near you again.
So cut to Greg throwing out all his gay memorabilia.
Except for Judy. You can
Yes,
never
you can't throw
trash
out
Judy.
Judy.
You cannot trash Judy live.
And Sebastian calls him, seeing if Annette's with him. And he's like,
well,
no.
like, she's not here, but why don't you just let this shit go? Like, whatever. He's like, tell me where the fuck she is.
All right, she's with her friend's parents.
She caught a train about half an hour ago, and
He, God damn it. Fucking Sebastian Valmont. He is waiting
at the
top of the escalator.
That song. Do, 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 do. And then when she gets up there, I'm impressed. Well, I'm in love.
Ah, cut to them making love.
Oh,
and him
my
asking,
God.
are you okay?
That was the height
Oh
of
my
what
God.
you could do for a
To take a
date.
virginity, yes.
Just for a date. Just
Ta-
for a date.
yeah,
just
yeah.
for a fucking date. That was like the very height of intimacy. In
Are you
1999, when you're giving it up, when they're like, are you okay? Like your dick is that fucking big, but because they're all in your face
Right.
and their dick is in you,
You're like,
oh yeah, I guess I'm okay. Yeah.
and hey, at least he knows what he's doing.
I
It's a better
mean-
first time than a lot of us get.
She looked like she didn't look upset. She winced for a second as you do. Mm-hmm. But,
So cut to him kissing her goodbye at her car and Kathryn watching, looking pissed from above.
the balcony, looking like the evil fucking queen at Disneyland up there.
I'm not the fairest of them all anymore.
I'm not. So yeah, she's like, and also, I don't know if we noticed in this, like he did not pull out. Are they using a condom? He went
We
soft
don't know.
while he's in there.
We don't know.
Because they had that whole aftermath, the little afterglow thing, and like he at the very least, it got loose around the edges if he was wearing a condom, and it spilled all over the sheet. Mei Ling's gonna have to clean that up. It's a fucking
goodness.
bummer.
She's going to have to vacuum her out. Rich people have this special
They
pussy
do.
hoover. You get home and you just steam that yoni. So you cut to Sebastian carrying flowers sometime later.
Yes, it's like the next day. He's all chipper and shit with some very nice roses, and he finds Kathryn.
Moaning.
Oh, what? What's going on in here?
on? Kathryn's like, just a minute. And he
on.
knocks again.
Just a minute.
Bad time? Kinda. And she's like, well, you obviously wanted me to witness your little adventure or you wouldn't have invited me in.
So where could he be?
And he opens this giant bed drawer
That's her hide-a-hoe.
where Ronald is hiding with a feather.
And excuse me, but when he gets out, talk about how there's
Some fucked up shit happens in this house. You're
Those
one of them
drawers-
things.
Those draws should not be baggy. Those are bikini tees. They should not be baggy draws.
What's she been doing? She been stretching out
They
your
should
draws.
be tight against those cakes, Sean Patrick Thomas.
And she's like, call me as he walks
He's
out
like,
the door.
"Oh, okay. You know he did, though. And he's got some fucking nerve later on. Later on at the end of this movie, he's got some fucking nerve trying to knuckle up on Sebastian
Right.
because you fuck so-and-so. And he's like, yeah, well, you fuck my fucking sister while you're supposed to be in love with so-and-so. So what the fuck?
And she's like, you don't get to have all the fun. And now she's trying to come on to him because he won the bet. And he's all, some other time.
She's
And
like, well,
she
I
is
want to fuck.
fucking pissed.
I
She throws a glass
don't.
at the door.
Well, she's got blue clit.
Yep, that's what we call
That's
it.
what we call it in the community. We
Blue
call it
clit.
a blue clit.
Even though it's the first time I've ever heard it.
I've
that's
never
what we call
said it before in my life, but that's just what came out.
So now Sebastian's on the phone saying, I love you too. And Kathryn hears like, you're completely pussy whipped. He's like, look, nothing's changed. And she's like, yeah, you're in love with her and you don't love me anymore. He's like, it's just a bet.
Right.
But then she tries to kiss him and he pushes her off.
He's like, this is fucking stupid. Like, stop it.
And she goes, have you thought about what happens when school starts? She's the headmaster's daughter.
You're going to be doing campus tours before too long. Like, you could have left school a legend.
And also her manifesto was a total sham because she wrote this whole like thing about how she's saving herself and she fucking boned you.
You're going to wreck your reputation and destroy hers.
So she's like, as the student body president, I feel it's my duty to tell the headmaster.
To please that booty. I mean, call the headmaster. So hold on. This will just take a second.
And he's like, look, I'm gonna tell her everything anyway.
Right. Quite the predicament you're in.
Mm-hmm. So he's willing to take his chances and he leaves. And then we see him in Central Park or somewhere.
He's having a think. And this was like, I was all, this was a good soundtrack, too, because I was thinking about it when this music was playing. And I was like, who is that? And I was like, oh, it's Elizabeth Fraser. I was like, why does that sound familiar?
Who is that?
Part of the Cocteau Twins.
Oh, okay.
But also, she sang on Teardrop, the Massive Attack.
Oh,
Teardrop.
okay.
And she sounds like she's crying because she had heard the day she recorded that Jeff Buckley, her ex, had died.
Oh, wow.
And so that's the story about that. But I was like, who is that? She sounds familiar. The name sounds familiar. But anyhow, it's also a good soundtrack. Check it out.
So he's walking around thinking, looking sad, back in his own bed alone, journal beside him thinking.
Right.
And then he gets out of a car and enters a building and it's Annette's place, her friend's parents' place or whatever.
Yes.
And she's like, hell yeah, let's get to my room.
Do you think we could be quiet? And he's like, you know what?
This isn't working for me.
I just wanted to know what you were like in bed.
I'm completely fucked up. I thought I was in love with you, but it was just a lie. I don't feel anything. And she's like, what the fuck?
Wow.
And he's clearly lying because he's looking at her with tears streaming down his face saying all of this. And he's like shaking and shit.
This was the thing I think where he
This is where he threw up.
Yeah, because it was like a whole situation.
And she's like, yeah, you are fucked up. Get out. And he tries to hug or kiss her.
Get
and
away
she's
from
Don't
me.
fucking touch me.
Yeah.
Slaps him.
And she's sobbing.
Yeah.
Sobbing.
So he leaves, and now Kathryn's getting out of a limo and headed home, and Sebastian's waiting in her room.
She hands the driver her tiny purse.
He's still got wet eyes.
Right. He's sitting in her room all quiet with his shades on. And she's like,
it's over with me and
melodramatic, aren't we?
And she's like, you and I are two of a kind. Or no, he says that. And he's like, I thought we should celebrate.
And she was like, actually, I'm expecting company.
Ronald.
He was like, who, Ronald? He's like, well, actually,
I have this
got a letter from Ronald. Let me guess.
I took the liberty of arranging a get-together between Ronald and Cecile, and you were right. You do really get dumped for innocent little twits.
Wow, the same innocent little twit.
Twice, yes.
Wow.
And you could have had her. If you just kept making out with her like that, she could have been yours. You could have just cut out the middleman.
Right? And then she was like, you know what? You're right. Let's toast to my triumph.
Oh, your triumph over Annette. And she laughs.
She's like, no, honey.
My triumph over you.
I threatened your reputation. You were very much in love with her, but because I did that, you walked away from the only girl that would ever love you.
Don't you get it? You're just a little toy I like to play with. And now you've completely blown it. Saddest thing I've ever heard.
And I don't fuck losers.
Oh!
Bye, Sebastian.
So now Sebastian's on the phone, frantic to talk to Annette, who is not home.
Nope.
Cut to him headed to some other building at night, asking for Annette, and the woman's like,
that's where
it's
she's
the same,
staying,
the parents' house, whatever.
He's hollering, and there's like, she is not here. And he was like, give her this, a letter and his journal.
Yes, so she opens the letter, and there's this package, which is his entire journal.
Right.
And the letter says he wants to rectify the harm he's caused her, that being with her is the only time he was happy. and that he prided himself on bringing others misery. And now here's all my shit, basically.
Right. And he like hangs out outside of this apartment all fucking night long watching her read this.
Yes. And she's in there as the bet.
Right.
And
She's
so there's
the
like a
bet.
picture
There's
of her.
Cecile, there's Kathryn, there's her. It's all of his shenanigans.
And all about him being in love with his stepsister is in there as well.
And what she's like and what her deal is. So
Kathryn calls Ronald and wakes him up and is like, Sebastian's out of his mind. He hit me and took off. Like, ma'am.
Why does Ronald
why do you fucking care?
He's laying there next to Cecile.
Kathryn got that good or something.
Apparently so.
That pussy toy like a toiger.
Wow.
But wouldn't Cecile's be? Well, I don't know. Maybe Sebastian ran her ragged already. I don't know what he packed.
That's not how it works.
I know. But if it was back to back,
ass to ass.
If it was back to back, ass to ass, you might notice.
I don't know. Maybe.
But yeah, I need you. I'm afraid to be alone. And he's like, at first he's like, oh, just settle down. And then she goes,
She's
it's
like,
more.
It's about Cecile.
I'll be right over.
Well, okay, I guess.
So it was because of Cecile.
Okay, all right, because she's right there in bed. And he just, again, I feel like there's a crime going on. I feel like.
Because where are they? Is he in her childhood bed or is she at his adult man house?
I think she's at his adult man house at 59th and Park.
At Quado's house?
Whose house?
Quado's house.
We gotta do that movie now.
So yeah, in the morning, Sebastian's sitting outside somewhere across from Annette's place.
Right, and he finally decides to take off, but she sees him leave.
And
so she follows.
And Ronald comes up and confronts him in the street.
Well, yeah, he comes out of in the morning.
Like, yeah. When he found him. Like, how did he know he was outside of Annette's friend's parents' house? I feel like
he was just walking out there looking for him.
And just came across him.
I guess. He's like, this motherfucker.
And so he confronts him for hitting Kathryn. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And he's, well, you fuck Cecile.
She got to you too. And he's like, well, you fuck Cecile. And he's like, well.
So he punches him. They start fighting. Annette's approaching. And she tries to intervene and rolls into the road. And she's almost hit by a taxi.
Oh, but Sebastian sees that shit. And then he saves her.
Jumps in front of the taxi.
And I don't see how this killed him. I'm sorry.
I don't know. It wasn't going that fast.
It really wasn't. It was like in the walkway, first of
all. Where there's a
then,
pathway.
Like, yeah, he went up and over, but he barely didn't even hit his head. Like, I would think that would be the thing that would have killed him.
Yeah. But of course, he slowly dies, but he gets to tell her he loves her, and she loves him too. And he holds her hand. Ugh. And now cut to this iconic ending scene.
Oh, the school
This was pretty
funeral.
good. This was pretty good.
Is amazing. Coupled with the music.
This was very much for high school revenge. This was a good ending. So cut to his funeral photo and Annette's father talking about
starting the school year off was such a tragedy and everybody loved him, blah, blah, blah.
And Kathryn's in there in her school uniform snorting coke out of her crucifix.
Of course. And out of the bathroom stall, here comes Annette. I didn't know anybody else was in here.
And she introduces herself and she's like, have we met?
I don't think so.
Sorry to hear about your brother. Are you okay?
Yeah.
She's like, did you know Sebastian? You might say that. Such a tragedy, isn't it?
Of course.
And Annette tells her the things she told Bunny Caldwell.
When things get hard, sometimes I just turn to Jesus and, he helps me.
Well, I'll see you around campus.
Looking forward to it.
Freak.
Yeah.
So Kathryn makes a speech about Sebastian.
Yeah, she's doing the you googly at his you googly.
And when someone comes in with a notebook, like whispering to the people in the pews.
The kids start running out of the funeral during
and giving Kathryn dirty looks over their shoulders. Yeah.
What is going on? So she walks
He'd want me to say, Kathryn, I'm sorry. She's like trying to do this whole
if he could see us now.
Don't you people have any respect?
What is going on?
And it's a bittersweet
She walks out of the church.
And all these kids.
Everybody's reading. And here comes Cecile.
Handing out spiral-bound copies.
And how many stories were in there?
Because there was stories about many of those girls.
I feel like, Cecile was just like, fuck it, I guess, because her story was in there. Mm-hmm. There was Cecile at least, the bet, and my love, Kathryn.
Yeah. At minimum.
Bitch, and like her
probably Tara Reid was in there.
Oh, possibly. But like her whole story of like how she's friends with people, how she's frenemies with people, how she does this shit. And everybody fucking knows and looks at her. And then the headmaster comes out and unscrews the little crucifix thing and dumps all her cocaine out. And everyone just looks at her like.
And the name of the journal is Cruel Intentions, the journal of Sebastian Valmont, it says on the cover.
And it's a bittersweet
symphony that's life. Cut to Annette driving Sebastian's.
How did she get his car?
Bitch, I have the same goddamn question.
How did she get his
You're
car?
telling me.
And his shades.
17-year-old Sebastian Valmont left you his 1956
he didn't know
Jaguar
he
in
was
his
gonna
will?
die.
Exactly.
I thought that for a second. I was like, maybe he left it. Why?
Yeah. And this closing song is Chef's Kiss, and I didn't even know what it was, but it's called Secretly by Skunk Anansi, and it's so good.
Oh, I love this song. It was one of my favorite ones from that soundtrack because
it's a good one. That and Placebo.
The movie came out and the soundtrack and all of that shit, I wore that shit out.
Oh, for sure.
I watched this movie so many times.
Yeah, this was a good one.
It was the height. That fucking escalator scene, the fucking scene, the Counting Crows, the Are You Okay, the all of that.
Because you wanted to turn a bad boy good for you. Mm-hmm. You wanted to meet a bad boy who decided
life for you. Mm-hmm. I was never that virginal though, so I don't know. I was never gonna get it.
Same.
Never gonna.
I was never the Annette.
Never gonna get. Oh no, Annette. I wanted to be Kathryn.
So we have at least one short voicemail.
Oh,
from patron Zach.
Ooh,
and this is based on our Ford Fairlane episode. Mm-hmm.
It's Zach, and I suck at impressions, but oh my head. Doom Squad rules.
Doom Squad rules. My hair. I've gotten so many messages about my hair.
That was really one of the funniest parts of that movie to me.
It was so
that
funny.
And if you fall, I'll make it.
Oh, and then this one, god dang it. See, I got to start keeping in because we get text messages, but I don't always remember to save the name, or they don't always say their name.
Well, that's the whole point of it, isn't it? It could be anonymous.
Okay, so this person, I don't remember who you are. If I scroll back
if you want to reveal yourself, please do.
If I scroll way back, I'm sure I can figure out who this is, but here's the message we got. Oh, it's not even as recently as I thought. I thought it was more recent.
We're lagging.
Oh, no, it's from Monday. It's from Monday.
Oh, good,
it's not that old.
Good.
It says, "Hey, Doomers, I remembered that episode of Different Strokes with the Dice Man because it was the first thing I ever saw him in. It's a small part, but the guy is so memorable and makes a big impression. When he became famous for his comedy, I was still thinking about Crazy Larry, as well as his role as jealous lover Frankie in Amazon Women on the Moon.
Oh!
Because these were my first exposure to him. I'd see him on MTV and other places wondering why the hell nobody mentioned his previous acting roles. It was as if he didn't exist prior to his stand-up act, and that always bothered me. Great show as always. Dave from Dudes on Movies. Thank you!
Thank you! Thank you, Dave! Dudes on Movies.
Who's also a patron. Thank you.
Dudes on Movies. I'm going to sing it every time.
But I replied, I don't know if I've ever seen that episode of Different Strokes. I don't remember.
I don't know if I have.
Oh, and somebody sent us a message on August 26th that just says, "Hi there, is this the world famous Doom Generation podcast?" And I said, "It is indeed," and they never replied.
Yes.
So whoever you were, hit us back up.
Hit us back up. We are, in fact, where did you say that we were big right now? Or not big, but
oh,
was
God,
it like
damn
Estonia or some shit? It was like some weird
Algeria or something.
That's
yeah.
what it was.
Hey, if you're from Algeria,
hey, Thank you.
If you can't call on our phone number, send us an email, doomgenerationpodcast@gmail.com. But if you are in the States, 702-720-3666. Call, text, it goes straight to voicemail. Don't worry. We're not going to pick up.
Right.
Leave us a message, and until next week,
we'll talk at you next time.
Later, Doomers.